Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for sharing this evening again with me. For those of you who didn't catch my first video tonight, my name is Karen Bruno and I'm a distributor for Young Living Essential Oils. And if there's one thing I'm super passionate about, it is sharing with you guys all my homemade recipes that are chemical free, that use essential oils, and are super cost effective for any families that are on a budget. And right now, the purpose of this video is to teach you how you can make a chemical free fabric softener for you and your family. And the great part about this recipe is that it's reusable. All right, so let's take a look at the ingredients that we'll be making in this chemical-free fabric softener. What you're gonna do is you're gonna grab yourself a nice glass jar. You wanna make sure that it's a mason jar type where it's able to be sealed, because you will be storing liquid in this. The next ingredient that you will need is vegetable glycerin. All right, we're gonna need that. The third ingredient is going to be some vinegar. The fourth ingredient is distilled water. Now guys, please do not cheat here. Do not use tap water, do not use spigot water, do not use any other water except for distilled water. Because since this is going to create a substance like a wet mixture in the bottom, if water sits over time and it's not distilled water, it's going to get that musty sort of smell, and we're trying to avoid that. So distilled water does exactly what its name says. It's distilled, and therefore it won't get that murky, musty type of smell for sitting, because you're not going to consume all of this at one time. Our oil that we're going to be featuring is Young Living essential oil called Joy. It's a blend of wonderful smelling oils, and actually when I do the laundry I tend to be a little bit more joyful because I love the way that it smells, knowing that it's fragrance free, free of synthetic dyes, and free of chemicals. So Joy is a great reminder of why I choose chemical free products. And last but not least, you're going to need some homemade fabric flannel swatches. I made these homemade fabric flannel swatches, and these are going to serve as our fabric softener dryer sheets, okay? Now, I encourage you, if you're watching this video right now, what's the big deal about dryer sheets, Karen? Well, let me tell you guys, do your research. Dryer sheets are super toxic, the ones that you traditionally buy in stores. And so what I'm trying to do is share with you guys some chemical-free alternatives. And the dryer sheets that I have here are nothing more than my scraps of flannel. Approximately, you're going to need a 6x9 piece. And so I just went through my flannel fabric scrap bin, and you can see I have some in rectangles here. I also have some bigger sizes, you know, that might be slightly altered, maybe a 6x8, but what you're going to need is 5 of these. So let's take a look. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the reason why I want you to remember the number 5 is when you use this product, you're going to be putting 5 of those flannel dryer sheets into the dryer, okay? So who's ready to get started? All right, let's start off with our glass jar container right here. What we're going to do is we're going to have equal portions of vinegar and distilled water. So let's start off with our vinegar. Okay, you're going to want to grab a 1 cup measuring cup, and you're simply going to pour 1 cup of vinegar into your measuring cup. Okay, there we are. And now what I'm going to do is pour that into my glass jar. Okay, so I'm going to put that back. All right, now remember I said equal portions of vinegar to distilled water. So that means I'm going to need 1 cup of distilled water as well. So let me pour that. 1 cup of my distilled water. And then I'm going to pour that into my glass jar container. Okay. And then last but not least, this is an interesting ingredient. What you're going to do is you're going to use 1 1/2 tablespoons of vegetable glycerin. I encourage you guys to look up all the benefits of vegetable glycerin when you're making your own homemade cleaning products. It has wonderful properties that really helps to kind of bind everything together. Okay, and so I'm going to open this, and here's my 1 tablespoon. Now we're going to pour. Okay, you can see it's kind of has like a soapy consistency. It's thick like that, almost like corn syrup. So there's one. And then you're going to do half a tablespoon. Okay, so that looks about half. And I'm going to pour it in there. Okay, I'm going to use my finger just to swab it on out, because you can see there's some remaining product in there. And if you're wondering where you can get vegetable glycerin, I encourage you guys to check out your local health food store. I know this one came from one of the big box stores that deals with health and wellness. This is an organic vegetable glycerin. However, my local bulk food store called Echo Hills, if any of you guys are local, it's a wonderful Mennonite-run bulk food store where you can also get vegetable glycerin. So I encourage you guys to take a trip out there if you haven't already. Okay, now you'll notice what I have in my jar right now is the distilled water, the vinegar, and the vegetable glycerin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a wooden spoon and I'm going to combine these three ingredients together. Okay? I want that glycerin to really just mix well with the vinegar and the water. Okay? Now that that's all mixed together, let's add a little bit of joy to our laundry. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to add 8 drops of this. So count with me, guys. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1 for good luck. You can never go wrong with a little extra, right? All right, so I put my joy back, and again, what I'm going to ask you guys to do, grabs a wooden spoon, and you're just going to mix it up, because if you see right now, all of the joy essential oil is together, and what you do is you're just going to mix it. Okay. Smell your spoon. It smells wonderful. All right, and now what we're going to do, it's really this easy. You're going to grab your 5 fabric flannel pieces, and again, remember the recommended size that I have is approximately 6 inches by 9 inches. What I did, you don't have to finish off the edges, but what I did was I turned under all my raw edges so that I can reuse these. Another great way to go green. And so all you simply do, drop and plop. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's really that easy. Drop and plop all 5 of your dryer sheets in here. Okay? All right. Drop and plop all 5. And grab the wooden spoon again, and you're just going to soak them down in there. Okay? And guess what, guys? You just made a chemical-free fabric softener. Now, you might be sitting there saying, Karen, it really can't be that easy, but guys, it is. It's that easy. It's that simple. There's nothing really hard to this recipe, and you can do it at home. Now, I just want to review how to use this in an applicational sense. You're going to be storing it in a jar like this in your laundry room, okay? Now, don't get freaked out if there's all this extra liquid here. There's supposed to be that, because remember, these are reusable dryer sheets. So when you go to use all of these, you're simply going to reach inside. Now, you do not want to put it in your dryer if it's soaping wet like that. What you're going to do is you're going to give it a big old wring out, okay? Now, you don't want to squeeze it to death, but definitely have it that you can open it up and not have it be dripping, okay? And when you do, guys, this is a sign that when it's this consistency and not dripping, you just put all 5 of the dryer sheets in your dryer, and guess what? You're good to go. And then all you do is when your laundry is done and the dryer, you fold it, you take out your dryer sheets, you put it back in here, and you continue this process, rinse and repeat, haha, no pun intended since it's a laundry class. You're going to rinse and repeat that process until there's no longer this liquid. Okay, now if you want to make a bigger batch, you're certainly more than welcome to double this batch. But for right now, test this out and see how you like it. It's my liquid form of a fabric softener. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about the options, comment below and I can help you, or if you have any questions. All right, remember everybody, oil's well that ends well, and I'll be back with my very last video. Take care.